Hello again, back out in nature for day 5 of Mental Health Awareness Week. I'm back out in another country park, so to speak, in Romford. This one is. It's called Raphael Park. It's quite a nice sunny day. I've come over here to, obviously I'm filming this, but I can get myself out in nature as well at the same time. And I can see all the nice things that I'd like to show other people, or them to discover themselves. At the minute, I just sort of entered the park, just walked past the lake. I don't know if you can see that in the background, but it's absolutely amazing over here. There's some really nice stuff. Some of the trees, right, look like something out of Sherwood Forest, out of Winnie the Pooh. That's what it looks like. I come over here with my my nephew, my sister, and my brother, and that a little while ago, and we was looking at some of the stuff. They've got a lot of art sculptures that's been carved from the trees, from logs, and that. Some of them are absolutely amazing. Some of them are so well done. I'd love to have a go at myself, but I haven't got a chainsaw, so I have to make do with the tools I've got. But this one again is for Mental Health Awareness Week, and how I've been pushing with nature is vital for clarity, peace of mind, your own sanity, really. Your own sanity, because it gets you away from all the concrete and the bricks that everyone's trapped in. And I know that's hard with work, you know, home life. It can all be quite hard, but it's a vital thing that our bodies need, because we didn't evolve from sitting inside a square box. We evolved from moving in nature. And some of the stuff you can go out and find through this spring and summer are absolutely amazing. Some of them are so cool. Some of the places are so cool that I go to. But sadly, most of the time on my own, so I can't. I'm like a big kid where I'm like, wow, you know, look at that. But I'm talking, I'm talking to myself. So obviously, I'm posting this for you guys, anyone who's watching, because it is a bit of a vital thing, and our bodies really do need it. Our bodies really do need the daylight, you know, the peace that just sitting on the ground can give you is beyond belief. There's so many health benefits to being out in nature, and I've come over this one today because I had to run some errands. I've got to do something, and I've got my family coming round for dinner, which I've got to cook. So it won't be as long as some of my other videos. I'm just going to make it a bit more briefer. But I wanted to come show you some of the stuff that's out over here, because it's absolutely amazing. Some of the stuff is so cool. Like I said, the trees alone. I was always like a big fan of Robin Hood and stuff like that. So, no, that's Nottingham Forest, but yeah, some of this is kind of like that. Like I said, there's a couple of trees that I walked past, but unfortunately there was loads of people around it, so I didn't want to film it, because I didn't want them in the shot. I want you to see the natural beauty of the tree, you know. But some of them was like something out of Winnie the Pooh. It was. Some of them was so cool. Like there's this one opposite me. Don't know if you can see that properly. Some of them are well cool. I'm gonna go down a little country trail. It's like a little trail through the forest type thing, and it's got a lot of art sculptures and stuff that I'm gonna do little bits of videos for. I don't know where I'll post it, whether it be at the front of the video or the end of the video, I don't know. But I'm gonna post a couple of bits just so you can see some of the artwork and that. There's a big massive playing field over behind me, over the other side of them trees, in this little rock bit. There's a massive big playing field and that, so if you come over, you got kids and stuff, there's somewhere to go and do football, or you know, throw frisbees or something, have a picnic. But it's so nice over here, it's so beautiful. And I keep saying about mental health and that, which you're probably sick of it now. As someone else said in another mental health awareness video, they were saying that you're probably sick of hearing it now. But for me, it's something that mental illness has run through my family. I've had family members suffer big time with mental illnesses. So I know the key things to look out for. I've had to help and heal these people as much as I could without a doctor's certificate or anything like that. I've had to do a lot of that stuff on my own. So, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are doing exactly the same thing. You know, you don't get the thanks for taking care of people. You know, I'm also a carer, so it's obviously a time schedule for me doing this sort of thing. But I want to get the message out to people, because it needs saying, because otherwise people will just blanket and carry on doing what they're doing, which doesn't help. You know, people blank the problem rather than stop and face it. So, you know, at least in us talking about it, then we can help each other, which is, like I say, that's what I want. You know, I like helping people naturally, and if I can spread a message to someone else that will take that message and move it on somewhere to help someone else, then great. I absolutely love that. Because we're all meant to be helping each other. So, for this Mental Health Awareness Week, I've had a really busy week, and I've had some really stressful times as well doing it, because I'm trying to fit this into a busy schedule where I've got a lot of stuff on my plate anyway. Home life, family, trying to sort out work and stuff. So, you know, I appreciate anyone who has watched these videos or comes across it even afterwards, because a lot of people wouldn't even be aware of it. You know, I knew of such a thing as Mental Health Awareness Week, but I didn't know the date to it. It isn't like Christmas or Easter or, you know, anything where it's got a designated date on it. So, you know, a lot of people miss that kind of thing. And if we can just get the message out a bit more, to get people to express themselves rather than bottling stuff up, you know, then watch the stress levels decrease in yourself majorly. You know, now, I said this in yesterday's video about writing stuff down, which is a major help for people. It is a major help for people. A lot of the stuff that I've written down over the past year, I'd say probably year, 2 years, is stuff that had built up in me for years, and I never faced it and cured the problem. I just swept it under the rug, as virtually everyone does. You know, I don't want to deal with that, so I'll ignore it. You know, but the truth is that by ignoring our problems, they just fester. They fester and become more toxic. And like I said in yesterday's video about holding on to negative, unwanted energy and unresolved problems can have a major effect on your body, which then has a major effect on your mind. Because, like I said, if your body can't process something and you can't physically get that out by saying it or doing a movement to release the energy, its only option is to go back to your brain. and then your brain controls all the movements in your body, which then fester it back round, and it goes in an infinite circle back through your body, you know. And I don't think people are aware of it as much as they should be, you know, or don't pay attention to it because people see it a bit like a bit woo-woo, that it's like, you know, well, where's your proof sort of thing. But our bodies have proven it. Our bodies have proven it for thousands of years. So, you know, like I said, I do a lot of meditating. So after I've done a lot of this today, where I can film a few things and show you this country park and how nice it is, I'm going to sit here and try and meditate over it for a little while, till someone probably kicks a ball over at me or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to try and do a bit of meditating myself, because this is a lovely place to do it, and I can ground my energy a bit more. Like I said, I've got a bit of a busy day, so I've got to rush back in a little while, and I just wanted to show you some of the places over here, like I've done in a few other videos about showing you the country parks I go to and stuff. Some of the nature I go out and see that is within a short enough travelling distance for me to tie in with my schedule, which can be a bit pushing sometimes, you know. So I have to rush a lot, and I've said it in a few of these videos about I'm sort of gutted in a way that I have to film this, because I want to sit here and just observe it. I want to take it all in. But if I show you people where I am, then when you get your free time, you get your weekend, you get, you know, maybe you've got kids and they're off school for a week or whatever, then you can bring them to these places and you can enjoy it as much as I have, because that's what I want, is for everyone to get full experience of being out in this real world, you know, away from TV screens and your phones and stuff. And like I said yesterday, I'm a bit of a John Connor with technology. I don't really like it because it makes people lazy, it makes people stupid, it stops people from actually doing stuff, you know. Even something as simple, because like ordering something, because everyone is in a rush state, you know, for convenience, you know. And it's the same as, for instance, food. You've got your dietary needs. Yeah, we all know we need fresh produce, because that is what runs our body. We are a form of a plant, you know. We need sunlight, we need nutrients. So we should be taking in a lot more fruit and vegetables. Everyone should. But for convenience, we built massive supermarkets and we've frozen all our food and put a load of preservatives in it, you know. And by doing that, it's putting toxins into our body, you know. You might as well have a drip feed of McDonald's going straight into your arteries, you know, because nothing's, you know. I ain't knocking McDonald's, because I love a bit of McDonald's, and I had a chicken burger from there earlier because I was in a rush. I haven't had breakfast, so I'm not knocking fast food, because I love it. I love a pizza, but we can't live on it. We can't have that as our diet constant, you know. And it bugs me big time, right? When you say about salad or something, you know, people go, oh, rabbit food. Oh, that bugs me so much. It bugs me so much, because not for one, there's fruit and vegetables that person does like, but because of the, you know, the stigma of where they're around and the people they're around, they turn and go, oh, rabbit food, you know. And it's like, what are you eating? Chips? 24/7 diet, you know? Have a donut for breakfast, and like, what are you doing, you know? And people just say stuff for the sake of saying it, which then has a knock-on effect to someone else. They go, oh, sure, I won't say that I like a nice avocado or something, you know what I mean? People get all shy about what they like. So You know, we need fruit, vegetables, and like I said, taking care of your body as much as your mind they work in tandem, light and dark. You know, they work in tandem, and they're supposed to. They're supposed to. So, you know, you really do have to take care of your health, because that's all we get. That is everything. I said it in yesterday's video. Your physical health and your mental health is wealth. You are extremely rich if you've got your mental health and your physical health. You are extremely rich, even if you come from a poverty upbringing, you know. And people, we all know the saying of, oh, money don't buy happiness, you know. And then as soon as you hear it, someone will go, well, it'll make me happy. You know, yeah, for a short spell, because now you can go and buy a nice house, or you can buy yourself a luxurious holiday, you know, or a nice car, or a nice clothes, or whatever, you know, pay for a nice big giant wedding. But it's all temporary. It's all temporary. It's all momentary, because it doesn't make you better. You can have all the money in the world, but if you still don't put into your body and your mind, you'll crash. You'll crash even quicker than someone who comes from poverty. You'll crash so fast that your only option will be to go into some form of like a rehab, or, you know, go and see a psychiatrist and stuff, and pushing onto someone else to solve the problem that you've created for yourself and you are capable of healing. We are all a form of doctor. We can heal ourselves, you know. I've said it before to my family and they've physically seen the outcome of it, that I am a very fast healer. If I get a cut, I can heal that within a matter of days, right? I severed, I'm going to show you, right? And I don't know whether the scar's going to be here or not, right? But I severed my tendon on this finger, yeah? I cut myself across there with a kitchen knife, right? And stabbed myself in the finger when I was cooking, right? Because I was trying to separate meat and stuff. And it was a stupid accident, because I'm not clumsy. I'm not a clumsy person, right? So I don't know. It was maybe just to prove to myself in some way, you know, that I can heal it. Obviously, cut my finger, pouring out blood, right? So straight away, I've wrapped it. I've put ice on it to try and slow the blood pressure down, stop it spitting out and stuff. And I've gone to my doctor's the very next day, right? I'd done this late evening when I was preparing food, right? And then the very next morning, because it was too late for me to go anywhere really, and like I said, I was caring, I'm a carer, so I was caring someone. I couldn't just run off and leave and go to the hospital for 5 hours, right? So I've waited, I've wrapped it up as best I could, right? And I've waited and gone to my doctor's the very next morning, right? And by the time I got there, the cut had closed completely. And he went, where'd you cut yourself? Where'd you cut yourself? You know, and this is a guy who's trained. You know, he's gone for a lot of schooling to get to where he is in that chair behind that desk. Yeah. And he goes to me, where's the cut? Where'd you cut yourself? I was like, there. And I explained to him, I'm a very fast healer. Yeah. Right, and I always joke with my family, I'm like Wolverine. You know, I get cut or something, I can heal very quickly. You know, in fact, right, here's another bit of proof for you. I had a lung operation, yeah? I had half of my right lung removed. I had a collapsed lung. And they didn't know where the hole was, right? They couldn't find the hole. So their logic was, we'll chop the bottom half of the lung off and we'll re-stitch it, yeah? And in that way, it can just slowly grow. Over the course of 10 years or whatever, it can slowly grow back and heal itself. They done this operation and it turned out the hole was at the top, right? Yeah, whole hospital full of people who trained for years, yeah? They've suddenly realised that the hole was at the top, right? So their only option was to take 2 pints of blood out of my arm, lay me on my side, and fill up my lung full of 2 pints of blood, which was me drowning on the spot. I was literally my body went into drowning mode and I couldn't breathe and blah 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 blah, right? And that was to try and find the hole, and once the blood started to clot, it would close the hole off, yeah, which it did, thankfully, thank God it did do that, yeah. But after that, I said to them, you know, they've showed me this x-ray, right, and you've got your 2 lungs, yeah, so say that's my lung, right, that's my full lung, right, on the other side is my lung like that, with a dead straight line across the bottom where it's been stitched, like, I mean, right angles. It was that straight. It looked like SpongeBob SquarePants turned upside down, right? And with it, they turned around and said, this will take, you know, up to 10 years for it to heal. You know, obviously the scar's got to heal inside, and I'm stitched up from the centre of my innards right the way to the outside. I've got multiple scars down my side, my rib cage, and on my back. Luckily they done keyhole surgery, so it weren't a massive major scar. I've got minimal scars, right? But they've turned around and said to me, this is going to take about 10 years for it to heal, and your lung will grow back, because it's the only organ in your body that does grow. It does regenerate, right? Every other organ in you doesn't. And obviously I was worried for a long time, right? I was sitting in the hospital, and after about 2 months, I was in intensive care for a long time, and then I was put on a general ward once they could just leave tubes in me and the blood circulating through like a big bucket light to carry around, right? This went on for about 2 months, and eventually I left the hospital because I actually got an infection, right, from these people. They're meant to wash me and clean this wound, and they actually give me 3 infections. They give me a blood infection, a tissue infection, and an organ infection. And I was on so many different medications. I was pumped full of medications. I was so angry with them as well. It's like, you've done this to me. You know, not only did you chop off half my lung when you didn't need to, but then you actually give me infections, because where they went to wash me, they've let stagnant water enter my wounds around the tubes that's plugged into me, right? And with it, it's obviously got infected right the way through to the centre of my body and that. And I left, right? And once I was out of the hospital, I sat there and started doing what I do, yeah? I started doing what I do, the stuff I practice. And it's nothing weird or, you know, some sort of ritual or anything like that. I'm not one of them sort of people, right? I take medications that are proven to work, and I use natural stuff that we have used for centuries and thousands of years before someone come up with penicillin, you know, and all these medications that are pushed on us. And I managed to cure my 10-year supposed wait in about 6 months. That's how quick I can heal. Right? And this is, I've got witnesses. If no one believes me, I've got witnesses, right? And I ain't the only person out there who's done this either, right? But it shows you what you can do with your mind. What you can do with your mind and your body is astounding. It's astounding. And people are just dumb. People are dumb to it because they believe every single thing that they hear on social media and TV adverts, and, you know. So yeah, that one's a bit of an off-key story, but it shows you. I'm just trying to get the message across of what our bodies and our minds are actually capable of doing, you know. And at some point, I'll probably, after this little project with a mental health week, I'll probably go into something like that. I'll probably explain it a bit more, because it will benefit a lot of people. And you know, that'd be something new to do for me. But yeah, I'm going to show you some of the places around here. Right, now I've had my little speech. This is your life with my giant red book. Now I've done all that. I'm going to show you a few places in here, a few of the art sculptures that have been carved out of trees and stuff. Some of them are amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, I've been and fed all the animals over there, all the geese, the pigeons, the swans, stuff like that. I'm going to show you a bit around the forest, film a little bit of that, and then I'll more likely post that at the end of the video now. I'll do my little bit of me speaking, because obviously I want to get the speech across for mental health awareness. So now that's done, I'll show you a bit of the forest, because this is a lovely place to come and visit if and when you've got the time, and I think you'll really appreciate it as well. So have a nice day, a nice week, and a nice weekend.